We are live.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Hello, people in Facebook land.
Yeah, Facebook land.
So we're mad because we've been chatting for 10 minutes before the call. So
We've had,
for all
I've had too much of what you're going to be talking about right now.
yeah. I'll give you a clue. No, it's not. No, it's not narcotics. Right.
Well, it should be a narcotic, but it isn't.
Yeah, it should be. You're right. For all those people in England, sad news: Nobby Stiles died today. Member of the 1966 England World Cup team. So it's very sad news. One of my heroes. Anyway, let's get on with today's call. And before we start, I'm going to say this, and my thing's in the way, so I can't read it. HealthierLifeTV wants to inspire people of all ages to live a life of complete health through education and information. We cover all aspects of health, wellness, sports, and fitness. Now, today's subject is I didn't really enjoy looking at this subject. I have to be quite honest. And you obviously done a little bit on it as well, didn't you, Warren?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't enjoy it. That'll give you a clue. So today's thing is about the sweet dangers of sugar. Okay. So now, what you got an opening statement that you want to make at all, Warren, about your bad habits or your feelings about sugar?
No, I don't have anything opening to say per se. No, nothing specific.
Okay. All right. Well, sugar is the generic term that we all use, and it's basically sweet-tasting, soluble carbohydrates, many of which are used in food. Yes. Yeah. So
many of which we eat on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Some more than others.
Sure.
It's known as table salt, table sugar, granulated sugar, and what's the other one? Regular sugar. So, but it refers to sucrose, basically. Yes. Which includes glucose and fructose. So that's the simple version. I'm just going to shut a door because I can hear something in the other room. Bear with me a minute.
Sure, no problem.
Right, just back. Sorry about that. I forgot the television's on in the other room. So. Okay, right. So, did you know that sugar is found in the tissues of most plants? I didn't know that.
Most plants?
Most plants.
Yeah, okay.
I really should have paid more attention at school.
No, but I think the average individual doesn't necessarily either need to know that or is going to ask that kind of question. Or inquisitive about something like that. So it's understandable.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. 1 second. Can
Paul's having a domestic there.
No, it's not domestic. I'm single, mate. Trust me.
I'm just teasing.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, they're found in tissues of plants. I just found that amazing. I didn't even. You don't even give it a second thought. I mean, you see those little bags of sugar at the supermarket, and you think, I've got to stay away from them. I mean, I still buy them, because other people like it.
But that's no. You see,
yes,
we don't have it. Period. I mean, we use like coconut sugar.
Okay.
If we use sugar, it's a coconut-based sugar. But we don't keep sugar because other people like it. If people come to my house and they want tea or coffee, sorry, that's what you can have some coconut sugar. That's it.
We just had Brian come on, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Taylor. Good day, young man.
my referee buddy. Honey and fruit are the most abundant sources of natural sugar.
Okay.
The simple sugars, and that's probably where I get most of mine. I've got to say this. You know what I showed you at the start? Okay, I'm jumping ahead. This is a double one. Okay,
There's
19 grams of sugar in here. Okay, and the adult recommended sugar is only 30 grams for the day. Okay. I've had that for some time because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to eat it. I didn't buy it, but I'm afraid to eat it. So
no, I'm laughing at Brian. He says, "I'm not your buddy, Paul."
Well, I can take that. You wait. Look, he only lives about 600 yards away from where I am at the moment. So I could go around and let his tyres down, couldn't I? Really. Anyway, let's carry on talking about sugar, and it's. Have you ever had a time in your life when you've sort of taken excess sugar?
Oh yeah. When I was a kid, we used to eat raw sugar cane.
Yeah, well, that's the bit I was going to come on to, because sucrose is especially concentrated in sugar cane and sugar beet.
I grew up where there was like copious amounts of sugarcane fields. So when we would walk around the streets, you would just grab sugarcane and just gnaw on it incessantly. Oh yeah, I'm surprised I still have teeth. Actually,
did you know that in 2016 there were 2 billion tons of sugar that was extracted, and in the world market, 2 billion.
Wow.
Okay. Now, you have to ask yourself, are people cutting down? I mean, the big thing for me is that when you talk about energy, it is a source of energy as well, but I don't want to spike, go up and down. Okay. And that's one of the reasons I try out and watch how much sugar I eat. I used to have 2 spoonfuls of sugar in tea. And there were times when I used to drink in excess of 10 to 12 cups of tea a day.
Oh!
Yeah, I know. That's work. When I was working 20 hours and things like that, you know.
Still.
Well, I was there 20 hours. I didn't exactly work 20 hours. So.
Yeah.
But we did work hard. But, I mean, so I did swap over to sweeteners, which, again, at that time, which would have been
both evils.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about sweeteners. They just said cut down on sugar, so I did. You know, so what I do now, I restrict myself to 3 cups of tea a day.
Okay. With sugar?
No.
Really?
No, with inulin.
Okay.
Yeah, precisely. I didn't do research on it, but it's much, much healthier.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, if it's used properly, you can use it badly as well, but it's a substitute.
Okay.
They say it's a healthy substitute, but again, you can have too much of that. And we use minute little amount. So yeah, but they use sucrose a lot in commercial extraction, prepared foods, processed foods, and this is where the problems come in. It's not about the bananas and figs and grapes you eat, because they have quite a lot of sugar in them. Okay, it's this hidden sugar that's the problem.
Yeah.
Right, and I suppose the classic ones some people use it. I remember as a kid having bread and butter and have sugar on it because they didn't have anything else.
Yeah, I remember doing that as well as a kid. Yeah.
I don't hear it much now. I must admit, I don't. But you know, in the 60s, 50s, and 60s,
yeah, 70s,
mainly the 60s, early 60s. You know, you didn't have all this peanut butter and
peanut butter and everything.
And there's marmalade about, but you didn't have much of it because you couldn't afford it.
We used to have sugar with grapefruit. So just cut the grapefruit in half.
Yeah.
Break the cells and then sprinkle sugar over that.
Yeah, that'd be. I haven't had a grapefruit for years. I love grapefruits. But
Yeah, I enjoy it. I eat grapefruit from time to time. Yeah, I like it. It's nice.
But think where you use sugar, you use it in beverages. Not all beverages. Funny enough, if I drink a cappuccino, I don't use sugar. If I drink straight coffee, I do. All right, or sweetener.
Okay. Well, it's because the cappuccino's got that milk in it, so the milk kind of like subdues the strength of the coffee. Yeah. So you don't in your brain you probably don't really need your taste buds and stuff like that, the sugar for that. So.
And the other thing was, I always have a sprinkling of sugar on my Frosties and Weetabix and cornflakes and lots of other things. Not everything. And then I avoid that all the time now. I don't use sugar or anything like that. So I've cut all of that out.
Well, there's plenty. I mean, that's most of your cereals have got loads of sugar in it in any case. So
that's why I have oatmeal every day.
Yeah, me too.
Good. Added to it, you know.
Yeah.
So
I have like gluten-free cocoa balls. So cocoa, gluten-free cocoa balls.
I eat every cereal imaginable
with oats. But your pre-packed oats they're also high in sugars as well, eh?
Yeah, it depends which ones you get. You can
but your typical your major brands are high in sugars.
Yeah. What else? Bread as well. You know, they just have sugar on bread. Toast, but that's more honey and things like that. So, but now the average person consumes 24 kilos of sugar, right? A year. Is it a year? 24 kilos?
Who or what consumes 24 kilos of sugar a year?
The average human, the average person in the Western world, I suppose. In the UK.
Kilos. I would have thought the average household maybe. Wow.
No, that's taken a few years ago, but
have you seen a graphic? Have you seen that graphic on the drinks that you have? You get there's not a graphic.
Yeah, the bit.
They have the photograph of the different drinks, and then the bags of sugars underneath.
Yeah, I've got some other figures in a minute, but
figs. What?
It doesn't matter if it's white sugar or brown sugar. The only difference with brown sugar is that 5% of the sugar contains molasses. That's the only difference.
Okay, yeah. Which is sugar.
Yeah, there's a little bit of this, there's a bit more nutrient value, but not much. I mean, it's
the same as brown bread and white bread. There's very little nutritional difference between brown bread and white bread.
Although brown bread, a lot of brown bread tastes better, I think.
That's debatable. Yeah, but if you got the grainier breads, these kind of things,
whole grain
nutritional difference
between
seed breads, your darker type, your German type breads, or your Israeli breads, but we're not talking about that now. We're talking about sugars.
No, that's right.
But there's a lot of sugar in white bread, especially.
I mean, the problem is that a lot of times you just don't know what you're taking. That's why you have to do your research. Okay,
or consult with somebody who has done their research.
Yes, that's an easy way of doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it was probably stick home more, stay in your mind more if you actually do it yourself. So maybe a combination of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excessive consumption of sugar has been implicated in the onset of obesity, diabetes, mainly diabetes 2, obviously. Where are we going? Tooth decay, dementia, some cancers,
Parkinson's,
heart disease. Yeah, it goes on and on. And
that's why I said sugar should be a narcotic.
It should be, I think, yeah. The problem you've got, and it's the same with like pharmaceuticals and things like that. They have too much power. These businesses have too much power. They have too much lobbying power. So, I know, like in the United States, that people get paid. They get paid by lobbyists
Oh yeah.
And things like that. And hey, I'm not going to get into US politics at the moment because that's an interesting place to be. But you know, again, it's like pharmaceuticals. You know, they hit all the senators and people in the parliament.
Oh, have you seen what the meat industry in the US is, and in the EU as well? Sorry, in the EU, not the US, but in the EU. What they're trying to prevent through the lobbyists. They're trying to prevent the labeling of vegetarian burgers, vegetarian sausages. So they're trying to make it so that basically burgers, the term burger or meat, or like even if it's like vegetarian, anything that cannot link the two together.
Right. Okay.
So even the word patty, you can't have vegetarian patties. You can't have vegetarian sausages, because and the meat industry are pushing for this to be made law. So on the packaging and the labelings, they can't have those terms on there because it's vegetarian. And that's because they are scared, they're frightened, but they do hold a lot of sway and power because it's the meat industry. So it's the same kind of thing, same thing.
I'd love to be a politician.
Why?
Oh yeah, I'd love it. I definitely would. I'd be an independent.
But okay, and I would hope that you would be an independent, because you have morals and values and things like that. But I see too often that any politician that has any relative forms of morals or values or ethics just does not last. They don't last unless they buy into the game.
But you got to be, that's right, and that's let's not go down that route. But anyway, let's go back to
at the end of the day.
Did you know that sugar burns easily when exposed to flame? I remember reading there was a sugar plant in Georgia in the USA that actually exploded.
Wow.
Because you have to get all the mixtures right and things like that. Because if you don't, it's really dangerous. There's 14 people killed and 40 injured. That's just purely dealing with sugar. That's how dangerous it is. First found in the Indian subcontinent. It's very ancient times, and it wasn't cheap, and it wasn't plentiful. So there wasn't that much. So it was really in demand and very expensive. So now it's dirt cheap, and you can get it anywhere. All right. So now eating too much sugar. Okay, we talk about excessive consumption. You get too many calories. You become overweight, you weight gain, and you can become obese. So you can see where the dangers lie. Okay, it's not only about putting on weight though. It can still cause you heart problems without putting weight on.
Oh yeah, it can do. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that. And then on top of that, your mental faculties are impacted by that as well, because of your spikes, the sugar spikes that you regularly get. So mentally you become irritated and all kinds of things.
These most of the problems are caused by learned behaviors and lifestyle. So in other words, lifestyle meaning what you consume, that you know you're consuming, and learned behaviors that you learned as a child even, that you just continue, and maybe you don't want to know, maybe you're ignorant, or maybe you do know and you're just ignoring it. You know, and look, individuals can do what they want at the end of the day, but I'd like to be aware of what I'm eating, so I can say, so if I decide to have one of these every day, right, I know what I'm doing, having 2/3 of the sugars that I need, and not necessarily the best ones either. So,
and I've seen it before in my past experiences where people they are fully aware that eating a Snickers a day, or multiple Snickers in a day in some cases, and eating pizzas on a daily basis, these kind of things, is not going to help them to be healthy, to lose fat and all these kind of things. And then they try to take up an initiative where they try to get healthier and start eating better and exercising and so forth. But because they are consuming so much sugar to begin with, the drug effect that it has on the brain override any other logical sense that they may try to take on board. So any healthier habits that they try to take on board, it overrides that because their body just craves that sugar so bad that the brain just does not comply at all. So your mind is like constantly like, you need that sugar, man. You need that sugar. You need that sugar. You need that sugar. And before long, I was training a young kid, 16 years old, 142 kilograms, and he knew before he even met me, he knew what he was doing. 142 kilograms at the age of 16. His sister was 12, and she weighed 84 kilograms at the age of 12.
84. Oh, right. 84 is still a lot, though, isn't it?
For a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah. I know.
Right?
I know.
And,
I used to box at 75 kilo.
Man.
So,
When I played tight head prop at school, I was 88 kilos. And I mean, but it's...
Yeah, but at least you got an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing a sport. I was still fit.
You're getting hammered,
The thing is that, when you look at that and they know that they're doing something wrong, and then they still cannot remain consistent or just keep that longevity going with trying to change their lifestyles, it's because of the drug effect that the sugar has on their brain. And it does not allow you to, you have to be so strong-willed in order to make those changes happen. And this is where you need support of somebody. You need support of a coach. You need support of like a nutritional coach or fitness coach or a lifestyle coach or somebody, family members. You need some kind of support to help you get over that and start to reduce that sugar and things like this. And I won't say who right now, but I have somebody very close to me. They've had 2 family members that have passed away through, with symptoms of dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's, and all these things. And as we mentioned, very often sugar is the main cause for that. Yet this person still consumes sugar. Knowing this, yet they still consume sugar. And it's just, and it's not like the person's an unhealthy person either. This person's a healthy person, but they still consume sugar not in excess, but too much more than they should be. And it's because that sugar gives you that, it has a hold over people, like nicotine does.
Absolutely, But these are some of the things that I've had challenges with in the past. And biscuits. Candy. I say candy because I was going to say chocolate, but there are some good chocolates about, and some really, really good quality chocolates that you can eat that are actually very good for you. Flavored yogurts. Again, you've got to look at what you're eating. Breakfast cereals we've mentioned, but fizzy drinks. Fizzy drinks are not good.
Lisa, can I tell you this? Have I told you the story on one of the podcasts before? I don't know if I have.
Maybe.
With fizzy drinks. So if there's anything that anybody watches from this podcast, please take this away with you. It was 1987. I was still in high school. And we did a school project. And we did a school project with Coca-Cola and Fanta. And in those days, all you pretty much had was Coca-Cola, Fanta, cream soda had just come on the market. And
cream soda, I used to love that.
Yeah, okay, and ginger beer. And those were pretty much the 4 or 5 products that we had on the market in those days. And then, your lemonade. And so in any case, Sprite is lemonade, right? I think.
Yeah.
We did this experiment with teeth, meat, and coins. So copper coins, meat, blocks of meat, and teeth. Okay, and we left them in glasses of Coca-Cola and Fanta overnight. Went back to school the next day. Walked into the classroom. The teeth were literally sheared away. The enamel was gone.
Yeah.
Okay. The coins were like they were like brand new, straight out the mint, and the meat was gone, disappeared. And from that day onwards, I joke not. From that day, I made the decision: I will never again ever touch this stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't from 1987, and I just have not. I refuse to, because when I saw that in front of me, I thought, God, that's what it's doing to my body. Imagine what it's doing to my body when I consume that. You know, if that's what it's doing to meat, coins, and teeth. So I thought, no, my body doesn't need that. And then one night, many years later, I was working behind a bar as a barman. I was working behind a bar, and I would always have like a whiskey tumbler of water with me. And somebody came in behind the bar to help me out, and she poured a glass of lemonade from the spritzer thing. And I didn't realize, and I picked up the glass and I downed it, and it was just lemonade, and my body just literally threw it straight back out again. Yeah, just came straight back out again. Because my body didn't need it.
Yeah.
It was like completely alien to my body, and my body there was like too much sugar, and it just pushed it straight back out again. And that's my story with fizzy drinks and sugar in that regard.
So what would you suggest to someone? Would you suggest maybe reducing and having smaller portions, or would you say cutting out some things altogether, or a mixture of both?
I'd say it depends on the individual. But if somebody is strong-willed and they are a more determined type of person, then I would say, look, maybe go for the cold turkey, or otherwise phase it out. But if somebody is inherently more susceptible to giving up quite easily and not going full hog, then I would say cut it out completely. Cut it out. Just don't even think of, if you start to go take smaller portions, you're going to revert back to type. That's what will happen. You will revert back to type. In my opinion, that's my opinion. But at the end of the day, people need to make that decision for themselves. What's going to work best for them? So you can't say it's black or white, because it isn't. You're dealing with a drug.
Yeah.
And it's the same. I've seen drug addicts. Sorry.
Right. You've got to make your own decisions, and decisions that you can live with and improve on.
Yeah, true.
And that's the main thing. Is that, look, if you eat, I'm not being funny, and I'm being sarcastic a little bit. No, I'm not really. But look, if you had that, you had one of them a day, which is a double. Immediately, today, cut it down to one.
Yeah.
And then work out the rest, as you go along. So you can, what I'm saying is, you can move in the right direction. Okay.
Yes.
So this is it. This is good. I was just doing a little bit of research, and the UK government recommend 5% of energy should come from free sugars.
Okay.
So an adult shouldn't have more than 30 grams of sugar a day, which is equivalent, would you believe, of only 7 sugar cubes.
Wow.
Right? Children 7 to 10, a maximum of 24 grams, which is 6 sugar cubes. Children aged 4 to 6, 19 grams. That's 19, which is 5 cubes of sugar. Okay. And free sugars are found in foods such as sweets, cakes, biscuits, chocolate, fizzy drinks. And a can of cola has 9 cubes of sugar in it.
There we go.
Which is 2/3 of your. I'm saying no. It's more than that. It's more than that.
More than that, yeah.
That would be nearly double a child aged 4 to 6's amount of sugar you should have every day. So if you're giving a child who's aged 4 to 6 a can of cola every day, stop. If you're giving a can of cola to your children aged 7 to 10, stop, because that's nearly 2/3 of their sugar intake.
And and I can imagine there's so many kids today are drinking more than that, way more than that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
look, if you like a can of Coke, then by all means have one. Okay. But be aware. Be aware of what you're doing and what you're doing to your children.
And
You know?
it's not just the sugar. If you think about like that experiment that we did,
That's what else is in it.
it's the other stuff that's in the carbonated stuff that's in it that actually adds to the acidic level of the sugars in your body, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. If you just had that sugar on its own, it would be bad enough. But you add the carbonation to it.
Yeah. So here's the question for you. Is it healthy to never eat sugar?
Well, if you're talking free sugars, yes, but if you need your complex sugars as well.
Yeah.
You need your sugars from fruits or vegetables, things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But free sugars, definitely. But can sugar kill you?
I'm pretty sure it can.
Well, it can do, but it doesn't kill you at that moment. It kills you over time, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Inadvertently, it kills you.
Yeah, and then heart disease is obviously the big one. What was this?
Unless you work in a sugar factory that explodes, then yes. Or something tragic else happens in a sugar factory. But
Yeah,
I'm sure as well, people that work in sugar factories, they have many health related issues from the fumes and all these kind of things that they inhale every single day.
yeah. Okay, is honey better than sugar?
Mm,
Mhm.
mm.
It has a lower GI value.
Okay, which in
I think,
itself is better.
yeah. So which is good in its way. It doesn't raise blood sugar levels as quickly. But again, you have to watch the amount you have.
Because it has a low GI level.
Yeah. It's sweeter than sugar, so maybe you can have less of it, But you have to keep it, I say, close eye on portion sizes. Very, very important. That's with everything anyway. But
However, if you are having sugar, depending on how filtered that sugar is, you have a lot of other health-related properties that come with the sugars. I mean, sorry, not the sugar, the honey
yeah,
as well. Yeah. So you get certain sugars, not just like obviously you get your manuka sugars, honeys, your
yeah,
manuka honeys, which are really beneficial health-wise. But you do get the cheaper versions as well that are not as filtered as others that have health-related benefits to it because of the mere makeup of honey and how it's produced by the bees, So
yeah, that's right. I mean, as a general rule, though, honey is a complete food on its own. It
okay.
has virtually the whole range of vitamins in it, minerals.
Oh, wow.
There's not much that's not in it. Couldn't tell you what isn't in it, but I know it's a complete food. Like aloe vera, it's a complete food. So the symptoms of having too much sugar. What do you have any ideas? Apart from shaking, and things like that. No. Poor skin health is a big one.
Okay.
It can show out in your skin. Doesn't
Yeah.
always. Constant tiredness. Some people are constantly tired, and especially you notice it in the afternoons with people. They're constantly tired. Take a look at your diet
Mhm.
and the amount of sugar you're taking. Constant high blood pressure. Again, very, very important because you need to control because of hypertension and things like that. So weight gain we've spoken about. And if you're hungry all the time, it could be that you're eating too much sugar. And in other words, you keep having to stop the spikings that are happening, or to get yourself back up to them. So very, very, very important. Sugar cravings are not good. So I don't think I get any sugar cravings, but I might. Some, but not many. So, but I know other people they have them all the time.
No, it's because their health is so out of balance. They're just their blood sugar levels, their insulin levels, and that are just whacked. They're out of sync completely. So they're going to have sugar spikes or sugar cravings on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I tell people that if you have a sugar craving, if you feel hungry, have a glass of water, because that will often reduce your sugar
Yeah.
craving, and it will balance your blood pressure and everything like that. And
It did say that. It did say that on my research, but I missed it. So you can't remember everything. But okay, moving on though, because we're coming to the end. We've done 35 minutes, and it's enough for anybody. There's so much you can read up on sugar; it's unbelievable. But I think some key things to remember is to pay attention to what you're doing and what you're consuming. Okay, be aware of food labels.
Yes.
Know how much sugar you're taking in. Know that adults can take 30 grams of sugar, because most of the people on here will be adults. Okay. Find out what 30 grams of sugar actually is on different things. And stay away from the three of my favorite things: biscuits, cakes, and sweets. All right. So I do have my moments.
I think that if anybody is just partially disciplined enough to not stock up at home with sweets and cakes and biscuits, and have a regular, because some people have a regular stock of biscuits, they have a regular stock of this, they have a regular stock of that. And if you're just disciplined enough to not have that stock, and you just purchase based on what you're going to consume today, and then because you're not going to have it in your home, it's so much more difficult to get hold of it. You may not feel up to getting up and going out to the shops and going to buy just because you don't have it at home. However, if you do, then you have a problem, and then it's like okay, now you should have the responsibility for yourself to say, I need help.
Unfortunately, I live about 250 to 300 yards from Tesco's, and about 500 to 600 meters away from Morrison's, which is another supermarket. And there are another two just down the road as well. So, I mean, the drawer, I never have a drawer to think, well, I must go out and buy some sweets or cakes or biscuits. I don't have that much of a craving.
Yeah.
But sometimes you see them there. Oh, that looks nice. Is it because there's a difference? I've got someone coming in on a call. What's that? Oh, it's my son. Hang on, let me get rid of him.
Hello, son.
No, I'll cut him off for the moment. I'll talk to him in a minute. So anyway, anything else you want to say at all, Warren?
Reach out for help if you think you need it, and don't think too much about it. If you feel the need to reach out because you think that you have an issue or a problem with sugar, then reach out for help to somebody, whether it be Paul and I or someone else that is a professional that can guide you in the right direction. And don't think just because sugar is legal that it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not okay. I eat sugar, of course, but I have it in moderation, and I don't have it all the time. Like now, we're having quite a bit of sugar. We had Laura's birthday on the 24th, our daughter's birthday on the 24th. Then it was Andrea's birthday yesterday. All right, and Laura's birthday party is tomorrow. So after this weekend, I said to Andrea, I'm going sugar detox till Christmas.
Yeah.
I need to, because my body needs it. I could feel my body needs that detox from sugar. It's just been a little bit too much sugar over the last couple of weeks or last week and a bit. So I'm going to just go on a detox and prepare my body for Christmas. So when Christmas comes around, I don't feel bad about eating stuff and things like that, because I know my body's been clean for a good month.
Yeah. I don't think it hurts anybody to have a little bit of a checkup,
of course,
with yourself, and just think about how you can improve things. And I think that's if you do just that alone, that's you're well on the way.
Yeah, that's the first step.
Watch your sugar intake.
And we actually have a very simple, very easy checkup methodology as well. Paul and I, and it helps give you a very clear indication as to where your health is sitting right now from inside your body. And it's very simple, very easy to get hold of, and it puts it straight in front of you. You can look at it with the results. It's self-explanatory, and then on top of that, Paul and I would go through it with you, finer detail, give you some guidelines as to how your eating can change for you, and then help you get going at least, and support you along the road. So you have that kind of that coaching, mentoring, support along the route, rather than doing it on your own in isolation.
Absolutely, yes. So if you need any help, give us a buzz.
Please do.
You can find the email on here.
No pun intended, right?
What's that?
Give us a buzz.
Give us a buzz, yeah. Not a sugar buzz.
Yeah, exactly.
Sugar high. So, all right, fantastic. I'll be off Friday, so yeah, have a great weekend, because I've got a habit of saying that on a Wednesday. And we'll come back next week. And I think I won't tell you what the subject is next week. All I'll tell you is that I did an hour's work on it before I realised I was doing the wrong subject. But the good news is I've got to do an hour less next week. So, okay. All right, Warren, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Paul. And everybody else that watches us, have a great weekend. And share, people. Share. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
All right?
Caring is sharing.
That too.
All right. I'm going to end the broadcast. See you later, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.